Another tree down. We had a pretty good little storm the other day. 9 to 10 inches of rain over a 2.5, 3 day period. And, well, I needed more work. So here's one more tree to add to the collection. I guess I could use all of them to start building an ark. Because if it keeps raining like this, I think we're all going to need one. But every time we have a storm, if you've got livestock, you've got to check your fences. Luckily, this one's not on a fence line, so there's no big rush to get it all took care of. But first thing this morning, I was out on a four-wheeler, rode the fences. Yeah, there was some more limbs down and stuff, but luckily nothing on a fence anywhere. But yeah, I needed more work. So let's go show you some other stuff. And over here on this side, inside the old chicken house foundation, we got water standing for 100 feet, probably. And the water level's gone down some since its peak. Of course, water standing here. Water was running in our driveway. And it's just been a lot. I mean, there we were dry for 6 weeks, and all of a sudden, more than you can handle. So, we had water standing in the barn. Yeah. And then up here in this big ditch next to the foundation again, a lot more water. And right in here, luckily we didn't have any hay in here in these spots. But the water level was, well, from the foundation all the way up to right in here on this side. And on the other side, well, there's still water standing underneath the mower. All that was underwater. It's like on the outside, the water come up the ditches and just come over the foundation and started filling it up. So, of course, that's nothing compared to what some people had. Luckily, none of our damage was catastrophic or cost us money. I mean, next town over, I heard of a bridge out down there and causing some real inconveniences for some folks. And the next town over that way, they just built them a new big bridge over the river. In fact, I don't even think it's quite done yet. And I saw pictures on Facebook of the water level up within, oh, just a few feet of the structure. So they might be wishing they built it just a little taller. So anyway, hope you fared better where you live. And Jimmy says, hey. Don't you, Jimmy? That's what I thought. Okay, now on to the next thing. Okay, over here where the goats and the chickens live, there really wasn't any damage, but there was some water got places it didn't need to be. Of course, you know, when one side of an open shed is just a tarp, there's no stopping that. And, you know, a typical couple-inch rain, yeah, most of this stuff can handle it. But man, when you get that kind of water, you know, there's no stopping it. I mean, when it overtops the gutters and, you know, backs up into places it's not supposed to be, you know, but it makes for a mess. And some of these little overflow sheds is what we call them for the goats. You know, they got pretty wet inside, but, you know, these are all temporary things anyway. It's mainly for when somebody hogs the barn and won't let anyone else in, or, you know, if one's too timid to try to get in, well, they've got someplace they can get. And but over here, I don't know how well you can see, these GoPros make everything seem like it's a mile away. We got a little stream that cuts through the property. There's a little pond right over there, and it was a raging river, and completely out of its banks. And you can see where it goes through the fence here. leaves and trash and stuff piled up on it, and it leaned the fence over some. So that's one more thing to fix. But of course that's a pretty swampy area anyway, but you've got to put a fence somewhere. You've got to cross it somehow. So, but of course here in a few months we'll be wishing it was raining. They'll have a hard time believing we're going to be wishing for 10 inches. Now up here, well, it's a much cooler day today. We've been used to 70s and low 80s occasionally, and all of a sudden it's in the 40s. It makes it feel cold to us, but the little goats are loving it. I guess that way you can play extra hard without overheating. And here's a little group over here getting into trouble. Of course, that's what they're good at right now. Trouble's their middle name. Yeah, you just pick on that chicken. See if that rooster does anything to you. Nope. And of course we've got this little trailer over here. They love to climb on it, except when I tell you that. Frisky. Don't you wish you had that much energy? And here's a curious one. Oh. Of course the wood gets a little slick. Look at them go. And then we've got some over here that look like they're going to play King of the Mountain on this tire. If you like cute farm animals, it's hard to top baby goats. Yeah, what do you want? Oops, I was being touched. How about you? You're curious, but you're not that curious, are you? Would you stop it, Angel? Yesterday, I think I saw 6 little goats on top of that tire. Boing, boing, boing. It's like there's little springs in their legs. Now let's see if we can find some action. And here's the old rooster. He is about as colorful as they come, giving me the evil eye. But he never jumps anybody, so which is good. Little goat's going, what is wrong with that chicken? Well, I hate to tell you this, but chickens just do stuff like that. No, you can't operate a camera. I was barely able to figure out a GoPro. I'm sure you couldn't. Speaking of GoPros, I yesterday spent some time trying to get my wireless mics to work. You ever wonder how current levels of technology, why they can make them do all kinds of things, but they haven't figured out how to put an on-off switch on stuff? I mean, would that be that hard? A button I could press, a switch I could throw, something. No, we can't do that. It's got to be just as complicated as possible. What they don't seem to know is that if they make their stuff too hard to use, I ain't going to use it and I won't buy another one. You gonna come up and see this is? Come on. No? Alright, where's the next most likely group of crazies at? Well, got 5 up here in a group. I think they're going back to the tire. I think that this is the older ones. The one closest to us here, she's the oldest, well, out of the first set of quadruplets, she's the big girl out of them. And I think the one on either side is her brothers. But then look at that and go. Da 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 da. And there's a third. Come to a screeching halt on top of the trailer. They've been getting in the hay feeder already. They've figured out how to get up in there. That's just so much fun. Especially if it's someplace you know you're not supposed to be. That just makes it twice as much fun. And my wife built them a playground as such. From here's some old cable spools and boards across between the two of it so they can walk it. And they'll probably have to be a little bigger than they are now before they get that bold. But time is coming quick. So, but anyway, everyone survived the flood of 25 in spite of what the weatherman told us we was all going to die. I mean, he makes Chicken Little look like an optimist. I mean, they were just giddy with excitement every time it looks like, you know, the end is near. I mean, there's something fundamentally wrong with people like that, isn't there? Maybe we should have the government fund a study to slice their brains open and look and see what's really wrong with them. But, or is that too severe? But anyway, they could at least not be so happy when everyone's life is in danger. But oh well, that's just weatherman. Well, we're going to sign off here in a minute. They're going to get feisty as soon as I turn the camera off, you know that. So, but this is your moment of cute for the day. So we'll sign off on that. And you know what, guys, thanks for coming by. If you have a chance next time, drop by and I'll leave the gate open for you.